Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Wise words from the good book, reminding us that love is what you do. Those tiny acts done daily that show the people around you that they matter. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you for joining us on Jamaica Magazine on this day dedicated to love, at the beginning of a holy period. We have so much in store. Stay tuned.
There's a power in the faintest heartbeat that cannot be denied. Go on and trust yourself. You can ride the wind. You're gonna take your dreams where they've never been. There's a hero in everybody's
Lent is a time where persons commit to going to church more. Many Jamaican churches have a rich history. So as you step into those hallowed buildings, consider their past. Right now, get a history lesson on one of the country's most iconic churches, the Kingston Parish Church.
It's been twice built, and after a more than 300-year history, still stands as a monument of fine architectural achievement and the resilience of a city and its people. On the afternoon of Monday, January 14, 1907, the residents of Jamaica's capital city found themselves under an avalanche of dust clouds and falling rubble, jarred loose from buildings rocked by a 6.5 magnitude earthquake. The damage was all-encompassing and left many questioning the future of the city. But in the months and years that followed, Kingston and Kingstonians began laying the foundation for a sturdier, more resilient city. The Church of St. Thomas the Apostle was one of the institutions to find new life after the devastation of 1907. From that point on, it would stand as the Kingston Parish Church. In 1911, the Anglican Church, which stands on the corner of South Parade and King Street, was consecrated after being built on the foundations of the structure destroyed in 1907. Its predecessor, which had served as the state church of the island since the 17th century, is believed to have been built in or before 1699. The new concrete structure of the 20th century was designed to reflect the style of the original, with the exception of a clock tower added in memory of those who died in World War I. It is this clock that is said to be the inspiration for the popular phrase describing Kingstonians as people born under the clock. The Kingston Parish Church is a study in the best that Georgian architecture has to offer. Its gleaming white edifice with the cross-shaped, high steeple and bell tower is framed by stained glass windows dating back to the 1700s. Beyond its architectural details, the Kingston Parish Church holds within its walls many relics and monuments that detail interesting developments and personalities that have shaped the history of the capital. One of its most iconic features is the imposing organ said to have been built in 1722. Statues of St. Mary and St. Thomas, donated by the Chinese and Syrian communities, are among many gifts from prominent Jamaican families that adorn the church's altar. A French chalice from 1689 and a collection of church plates from 1701 find a home beside artwork and sculptures from some of Jamaica's best. Among its monuments is one in memory of John Woolmer, a wealthy Kingston goldsmith who left money in his will to build a free school in the city. And soldiers of the West Indian regiments who died during the colonial wars are remembered in marble plaques on the site. For more than 300 years, from so-called commoners to royalty, this church has been the point of worship for generations of Kingstonians, bearing witness to many of Jamaica's historic milestones.
Cancer, stress, high blood pressure. Guard yourself against these potentially deadly conditions by eating healthy. Give your body long life with foods such as low-fat milk, dried and fresh peas and beans, unsalted nuts and seeds, fresh vegetables, fruits and coconut water, and eliminate processed seasonings such as seasoning salt, soy sauces, and ketchup. When it comes to meats, remember to remove the skin to reduce the intake of fats and oils. Meats should also be baked, steamed, grilled, or roasted. Fish is also a preferred protein option. To eat healthy, fill your body with a variety of foods from all the food groups. And remember, eat at a slow pace and in small bites to help aid digestion. This helps to maintain a healthy, balanced, and nutritious diet, strengthening your body to ward off illness and prolong life.
This is also a time for self-denial. What are you giving up for Lent? You don't have to tell me. But I know you may be staying away from meat and turning to fish for protein. If you're thinking about eating more seafood in general, here are the benefits of doing just that.
We all love our protein: chicken, beef, pork. But how often do we eat fish? Is it only at Easter time or when you're at the beach? Incorporating more fish into your diet can be very beneficial to your health. Compared to red meats and poultry, fish has far less calories and cholesterol.
It's the saturated fats and the trans fats that our bodies use to make cholesterol. And fish and seafood have very little saturated fat and trans fat. So in truth and in fact, that makes it a very healthy source of protein.
Fish also has iron, which is important for good reasoning and memory, iodine, which can prevent mental problems in children, and selenium, vitamins, and carotenoids, which are antioxidants. Who knew that we could get so many nutrients from fish? And that's not all. Incorporating fish into our diet can even reduce the chances of developing certain diseases.
Studies have in fact shown that people who have a higher intake of fish compared to other meat sources have less heart disease, they suffer from fewer mood disorders, and they have less cognitive decline with age, so less dementia.
This is due to omega-3 fatty acids, a nutrient that is only found in a few other food sources, such as walnuts and flax seeds. But oily fish, such as sardines, tuna, mackerel, salmon, and trout, are excellent sources of omega-3s and are readily available at your convenience in supermarkets. So we want to add fish into our diet. In what ways can we do this?
So escovitch fish is one of our favorites. Now the onions and the carrots and the vinegar and the pimento, that's all fine. But we don't want to do a lot of deep frying. Deep frying adds calories. Nothing like a nice steamed fish, a nice roast fish. And when you roast your fish, you can stuff it with wonderful vegetables like callaloo and so on. So we have to find other ways. Many of us have broilers as a part of our stove and we've never utilized it. We don't know how it's used. And that gives us, I think, the closest taste to fried without adding a lot of oil.
So we've got different styles of cooking the fish, but what about flavor? Jamaicans love adding salt, but fish is already salty. Wouldn't that be too much sodium?
If we utilize other things like lime and lemon juice and or fresh seasonings or scotch bonnet pepper or onions or scallion, we can make our fish flavorful without adding a lot of extra sodium.
That sounds really tasty, but watch out for bones. Make sure to debone fish before giving your children. Even if the fish is bought deboned, check for fine bones with your fingers. If you're not careful, you could end up with a medical emergency. The recommended serving size per week is only 8 to 9 ounces of fish, or 2 to 3 servings per week. With an array of health benefits and a variety of ways to cook it, don't miss out on this lifestyle choice. Make a positive impact on your health by adding more fish to your diet.
We are children and we have rights. We have a right to be protected,
provided for,
and included. Don't beat me up, don't belittle me, and please don't molest me.
I am under 13. I should not be working for a living. That is child labor. It is illegal.
Stop leaving me alone. I am too young to provide for myself. I need your guidance.
Protect our nation's children. They have rights too. To learn more about children's rights, call or visit the offices of the Child Development Agency.
And now, we turn our focus on love. A set of persons who need extra love and attention are those who have special needs. Here's the story of one mother's journey to ensure that her special needs child is not left behind.
Meet Alex Fraser. He's a 10-year-old student of Dunrobin Primary School in Kingston. He's just like most other boys his age. He loves to play football, hang out with his friends, and play computer games. The only major difference, he cannot walk like most other boys his age. Alex was born with spina bifida, a condition where a baby's neural tube fails to develop normally, causing damage to the spinal cord and bones of the spine. Alex's mother, Tamara Brown, has 3 other children, all of whom have no birth defects. But from Alex's birth, Tamara was determined that he would be given the same opportunities.
I want Alex to have a good education. No matter if anything happened to me tomorrow, I want him to have a good education. Can't complain, the children, the teachers, love him a lot.
It's fun having Alex around, even though sometimes it's like he's not even there. He's so quiet, he's so obedient, and he gets along well with his peers.
Parenting a child with disabilities like Alex's takes extra special loving care.
I have to make sure, go to school, eat, because Alex is a very sick child. Alex have high blood pressure, he has a kidney problem, they have to take antibiotic every day, they have to take mineral oil every day.
It means Tamara has to be at school with Alex for the entire school day on many occasions, as there are times when he doesn't have an assigned special needs assistant.
We're always here for Alex's mom and for Alex. She has been a strong parent though, doesn't complain a lot, but we have been there in support, maybe for lunch or any advice that she needs. So she has been a great parent. Alex's mother, she never gives up. She really wants the best for her child, and she should be commended for actually fighting to get the best in life for Alex. And we're happy he's a part of us.
I would like to work with computer when I grow up.
Antonika Gunter-Gale, Director of the Early Stimulation Program in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, works closely with parents of children like Alex, especially in the early stages.
Parents, guardians, caregivers of children with disabilities face a number of issues. Financial, is one of them. When you take, for instance, sometimes a child with special needs go beyond the years of using diapers, they have to take soft food. So that means, the blending, the buying of certain food items, So there are a number of challenges. Medication, you think about appointments. The child needs to go to the hearing, specialist. The child needs to go to the audiology. The child needs to go to various appointments. And it does take cash, to care on the part of the parent for persons who don't understand that this is a child with special needs, and the child, act up in the public, screaming, shouting, hyperactive, a child with autism, very antisocial, not getting on like his peers. These things can really cause much stress to the parents of children with disabilities.
But you might ask, how can a regular parent afford all these expenses? And are there any existing support programs for parents of children with disabilities?
There are a number of support through the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, under which this program falls, the Early Stimulation Program. A mother, guardian, who really cannot find the wherewithal to care, you have support in terms of intervention. You have financial assistance in terms of a rehabilitation grant that is offered through the ministry for parents or guardians of children with special needs. You have the Jamaica Council for persons with disabilities that also offer support and financial assistance for, starting up your own business, advice, and, that sort of a thing. So there are a number of areas. We have the PATH program that assists with adaptive aids, such as hearing aids, walkers, wheelchairs, medication.
For parents who, like Tamara Brown, are unable to maintain regular jobs as a result of having to be with their disabled children at home or school, the Early Stimulation Program guides them to numerous entrepreneurship opportunities.
We have parents, for example, a simple thing as making soaps, different soaps, putting together, soaps that is tested and passed, approved through the Bureau of Standards, selling soaps. So we have mothers doing phone cards. We have parents doing their little craft at home, rearing chickens at home, doing eggs, So there are a number of areas while taking care of the child at home, the parent could do.
For more information, you may contact the Early Stimulation Program at 95 Hanover Street, Kingston. Call them at 922-5585. Children with special needs need extra special parents.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Maybe you don't have someone to spend the day with. Perhaps you just want to go somewhere by yourself. I know the perfect place you can visit by yourself or with company. I won't tell you though. Just watch this next feature to find out.
That's it right there, that's it. Yes. Rum raisin, rum raisin.
Rum and raisin ice cream, one of the many Devon House ice cream flavors. The tasty treat is rated among the best in the world, and its ratings go up a notch when it's bought at the Hope Road spot. But there was one hiccup, the waiting time.
Definitely a good idea. It was congested, especially on a Sunday evening, but now we get through a lot more quickly, and it's less crowded, less congested. We got through in 3 minutes. At the other side, it took a longer time to be served, so it was definitely a good idea. I like it.
For some Jamaicans, a Sunday afternoon trip to Devon House for ice cream is the ultimate treat. If you haven't been treated lately, upon your next visit, you may probably scream in excitement. Not because you're about to indulge in your favorite flavor, but because the shop has been expanded, minimizing the time it will take to get the creamy delight into your hands. The bigger and newer parlor opened recently on the North Lawns, moving from its spot in the courtyard. The space, which now houses the 5,000 square feet facility, was created to address growing complaints about the wait time to purchase ice cream, especially on weekends and public holidays. The relocation project received $28 million from the Tourism Enhancement Fund.
The store that we were in before was a quarter of the size of the one that we are in now. We had long lines on a Saturday night and a Sunday night. So in order to make our customers be satisfied and comfortable, this shop was built, which is like 3 times the size of the old shop. When the shop was just opened, we were all excited, and we still are excited about this new shop. It has brought a different dimension to our whole business. We are able to accommodate more people. We used to have 4 dipping cabinets in the other shop. Now we have 7. So we can accommodate and serve people in a more efficient and faster manner. On a Sunday, which is our busiest day, I think that we have in excess of 1,200 people on a Sunday alone. And on a Saturday, which is the next busiest day, we probably have about 1,000 people. It was not easy in the beginning, but we eventually got the hang of it, and I think people are really satisfied with where we're at now. It's 3 times the amount of staff in this new shop. We have a nice big veranda.
On any given day, particularly on the weekend, there are groups of tourists traveling from the north and west coasts for the treat.
We're headed back to Montego Bay.
The dessert's popularity is no secret. Its name has gone abroad, written and told about over and over again. Each scoop helps to bring in well-needed foreign exchange.
This is delicious ice cream. This is a rum, raisin, and then coconut on top. It's a very rich and creamy ice cream. It's quite good.
Chocolate is my favourite. Never heard of Devon Stout before. This is my second time to Jamaica, so I thought, why not? Flavours, sugar, and there's a malty taste, which I'm assuming is from the Devon Stout.
I'm having cheesecake. Tastes very nice.
We make in all probably 30 flavours, but we don't have all 30 at one time. Depending on the season, we have maybe 20 to 25 flavours.
The expansion of the iconic ice cream parlor is part of efforts to boast the Devon House as the epicenter of gastronomy in Kingston and to enable the historic location to be financially sustainable.
It's always a nice treat. The setting is nice, the ice cream is superb. Here with family, my mother and friends, we're all here enjoying the afternoon. It's great because you have more space, because the other one, there was a queue that used to zigzag outside. At least if it rains here, we're inside, and it has a nice colonial feel.
Frustration has melted away as long waiting time no longer separates man or woman from getting their Devon House ice cream that brings out the smile not only in a child but adults too.
Though it is nice to go out on Valentine's Day and receive fancy gifts, that's not the only way to show you care. Sometimes a simple word can be enough. A hug can say, "I love you." So too does spending quality time together, anywhere, maybe just outside stargazing. Whatever it is that you're doing for your loved ones, make sure it is something you know they would appreciate. Little acts of love can go a far way in making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. That's it for Jamaica Magazine today. Show us some love by visiting our social media pages or sending us an email. If you enjoyed today's show, visit our YouTube channel to watch it again. I'm Adrian Atkinson. On behalf of the entire production team, do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.